the triple Olympic Games gold medalist. This is the sort of effort that suits him.
Yes, a very early start too for Ed Clancy, and the weather is dry. It wasn't dry earlier today, but it is now as he makes his way. Big, powerful British cyclist who's done everything on the track. Now, can he do it on the road?
And you'll note that he's using a rear tail light, as all the riders from JLT Condor are. That's just about raising rider awareness and rider safety. This is a team that has helped so many riders make the step up towards the next level. But Ed Clancy, this is a team where he imparts his knowledge to those young riders. He is performing brilliantly. Sure, he's an early starter, but he is on target for an impressive time. This team, they've been close to the yellow jersey by just fractions of a second in the past, but the Olympic Games gold medalist, Ed Clancy, he has stopped the clock with a time of 1 minute 54.95, and that will take some beating.
Well, that is an amazing time, because in fact the best time anywhere nearest to him was 7 seconds slower, but he's only amongst the first 10 out of the start house.
This is the flying mullet, the Kiwi, Shane Archbold, riding for the Irish team Aqua Blue. He first made a name for himself on the track, but he really got noticed internationally 2 years ago at the Tour de France when he crashed, fractured his pelvis, and still somehow managed to finish the stage.
It's unthinkable. Long flowing there as he gets around that bottom corner, runs down the side of the river here.
It's a new team this year for Shane Archbold. He's a rider that we expect to see in the action when it comes to any of the sprint finishes. Perhaps tomorrow into Warrnambool will suit him. In the meantime, he wants to get close to that time of Clancy, keep himself within striking distance of the yellow jersey as he bobs and weaves his way through towards the finish line. Archbold, he won't beat the Brit, but it will be quick. He's a little over 5 seconds off the pace.
Which isn't bad off a rider like Ed Clancy, I must confess. Let's remember, this is the first day now as we go through to Sunday. So it's a 5-day race. It's 725 kilometres in total. This 1.6 kilometres might, for some, seem insignificant next Sunday.
Cam Bailey riding for Benelong Swiss Wellness. It's an old team with a new sponsor, and this team has produced so many of the stars of Australian cycling. Most chiefly amongst them, Richie Port, Nathan Huss. They've gone on to ride at the World Tour level. Cam Bailey, he's been a little ill the last week or so. Let's see how he bounces back.
Well, everybody's aiming at that amazing time by Ed Clancy, who sat on the stage watching every pedal rev with great interest here.
Cam Bailey for Benelong Swiss Wellness. The sponsor, they've got a corporate tent set up onto the left-hand side. They'll be yelling loudly as he makes his way by. Bailey is riding strongly. That's a good time. He's inside the 2-minute barrier. It's an impressive performance, 159.9.
48 kilometres an hour. Not quite the 50 kilometres an hour of Ed Clancy.
This is Esteban Chavez. He likes the mountains, not the individual time trials.
I spoke to him before the warm-up and he wasn't expecting to do a great time, but he is looking forward to the race this week. He'll go well in the mountain ranges. Chavez,
the smiling assassin, the Colombian kangaroo, he's already got so many nicknames. The time trial he doesn't like. The mountains that are weight, he does like those. 2 minutes and 8 seconds for Chavez. Not great, but not bad. This is Theo Yates now coming through for the Drapac Education First team.
Well, he's gone through those corners quick.
He's gone through very quickly. They've got this Australian Under-23 champion on their team, which is Cyrus Monk. He'll have high hopes for today's stage and also for the rest of the tour. For Yates, this is a solid performance, but he's already outside the time of Ed Clancy. Yates stops the clock in a time of 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Still ending around 2 minutes at this on the eve of the next 4 days of long-distance road racing is fine. This looks like Kundekoort on the start house, the Dutchman who lives occasionally in Australia.
And just behind him, number 1, is Damien Housen, the defending champion. He's only moments away from getting started. Kundekoort, he was 14th on Sunday down in Geelong in the Cadel Evans Great Ocean Road Race. Afterwards, he was disappointed. He said he did everything right for 163 kilometres, made a mess of the last 800 metres. No problem so far, though, for Kunda Courts.
Puffing and blowing around the corner there. Red bike, new colours this year, red colours of Trek.
The Dutchman, he will know this course better than just about anybody else in the race. His wife is from Melbourne. They live in St Kilda when they are throughout the off-season. As De Courts is charging towards the line, that last little throw, it might have grabbed him half a second. The time for Kunda Court, 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
They're all landing in the same slot, so there's a lot of riders going to go out on the opening day. They're locked together on same time.
This is Michael Potter now. For a new team on the block, ACA rides Sunshine Coast. This is the team that was set up by Ben Kirsten, Commonwealth Games gold medalist, along with Matt Wilson, who's working here as the sports director for the Mitchelton Scott team, and himself as a former winner of this race.
Nice bit of cornering there, sat right back on the bike to alter the centre of gravity.
He rode brilliantly at the National Championships recently in Buninyong. That was in the under-23 category. He's got a lot more depth to contend with here. But Potter is on a good time. This could be close to being inside the 2-minute mark. The young team on the block, they could cause a few surprises throughout the next week of racing. Michael Potter slides on through. Does the time start with a 1? Not quite.
Oh. Almost
2 minutes exactly.
Yes, he's pleased with that one. You could tell when he crossed the line. Just a nice timed effort, that one.
Cyrus Monk, the Australian under-23 road champion. Not completely confident in the timing system. He's got the Garmin on the go as well, just to be sure.
There'll be no appeal. The clocks will reveal all.
He was so aggressive in the final stage of this race last year, and that gave him a lot of confidence for 2017. He spent some time with the senior team from this Drapac squad, and that was towards the back end of last year. He was a little unlucky not to get a contract with that squad, but he is knocking firmly on the door now. Cyrus Monk, he goes through, and the time for Monk, it is 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
He might have expected a little bit more than that. I don't think he should worry too much about that.
This is Graham Briggs, the old man of the team, as he refers to himself.
No, but he is. But he's a married man with a family back home. He always comes over to Australia to prepare. He's a very good circuit race rider, been a British champion a number of times. And they say he's not a bad time trialist. Well, we're about to find out.
Well, just sweeps through that corner. It looked a little wobbly, but he manages to get through safely. He has said that the only stage in the race that suits him is this one. It's all or nothing.
Well, the corners will help his style, but his time on the halfway mark is a good one. He's challenging the leaderboard here, not the leader, though. He's down on that.
Ed Clancy has the best time with 1:54.9. There's only one other rider that's gone inside the 2-minute mark. That was Cam Bailey. But now with Briggs in, you can make it 3 as Briggs moves into second with 1:58.8.
The Tour of Valencia. Live tomorrow on Eurosport 2.
Matthew Gibson now, one of the young riders from JLT Condor.
Now, the team are talking him up.
And they keep producing quality young riders.
They do, and they love coming to Australia at this time of the year to hone their form for the long season back in Europe.
For all the riders from the JLT Condor team, not one of them look as if they're not going to enjoy this prologue.
Well, look at the face of this youngster. He's just racing into those corners, hardly touching his brakes. He's just checking. Wow, but that was a fine piece of cycling, and he's only a youngster.
There's no most aggressive prize in an individual time trial, but Gibson might be on target to collect it with how aggressive he has attacked each of those corners. Looking for the time of his teammate, 1:54.9. Ed Clancy watches on. He knows that he's safe. Gibson will not be getting the best time, but he could be the quickest amongst the youngest in the race for the white jersey. It is 1:58.8.
That's packing him in. That's 3 great rides from JLT Condor.
An average speed of more than 48 kilometres per hour. This is Lasse Norman Hansen now. Oh, a little bit messy on that left-hander.
I agree. He's a little bit sluggish coming out there. Looks better now.
The back brake just locked up ever so slightly with the discs, perhaps a little too sensitive.
He's checking himself twice as he goes in. Gets a bit of a speed wobble, but he's close. He's very close to the time of the top two here.
He looks to the scoreboard at the finish to watch the clock. He's sprinting for the time of Clancy. This will be desperately close for Hansen. Is he there?
Oh.
Now he waits for confirmation. It is almost, but not quite.
It's unbelievable.
0.6 of a second off the pace of Clancy.
He's just realised it. We've got 3 riders within 3/4 of a second of each other.
This is Michael Hepburn now making a start. Former world champion on the track in both the team time trial and the individual time trial. He's a man that's got the power, but does he have the bike handling skill for this course? A lot smoother through that corner than Hansen.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ed Clancy now, he was sort of 10th when he set this all up. Now we're getting towards the last 10 riders of the race. He's still on the leader's chair.
We still have a few of the big pre-race favourites to come. Ian Bibby, Alex Frame, Alex Edmondson amongst them. This is Hepburn now charging towards the line, and it will be close, but not quite close enough. He's outside the time of Clancy. It's good, but not great from Hepburn.
Now 4 seconds outside, so he's just on 2 minutes again.
We'll see a lot more of Michael Hepburn, particularly doing the work for the climbers on that team, like Chavez and Damien Housen. This is Anthony Giacopo now about to make a start. One of the unsung heroes of Australian cycling.
I've watched this guy be so successful, and he seems to fly under the radar of all the media. This guy's a really good rider.
Has been the Australian Criterium champion. He's been close in the road race as well at the National Championships. He rides such a small gear. He gets on top of it really quickly. Smooth pedaling action. Quick through the corners. He's not making any mistakes.
He's riding on the tops too, on the brake levers.
You would expect him to be on the drops, but he gets through there nice and smoothly. Now for Giacopo, it's engine time. How much punch can he pack as he goes for the time of Clancy? And this is quick from Giacopo. Again, the quiet achiever. This is a solid performance that will put him inside the top 5. And he is at 0.01 of a second off the pace. Desperately close for Giacopo.
That is an amazing ride for him. And again, as you say, he now slots into 4th place at the moment.
Down to the final few starters. This is the 5th last rider to start. And Ian Bibby, the teammate of Ed Clancy. This is the rider that Clancy tipped before the race to win the stage.
Well, Bibby has got the best credentials to take out the race overall for the JLT Condor. He needs a good time here to send him off tomorrow in a high position overall.
Well, from memory, he was 4th on the stage last year. The top 3 finishers in front of him aren't here this year. Has he got the legs to do it? Doesn't look as if it's going to be Ian Bibby's day. He's close, but not quite close enough. The time of Clancy, 1:54. It's standing the test of time.
Another solid time by the JLT Condor team. Another man inside. I think they've got 4 or 5 of the riders inside 2 minutes. Tremendous riding by that team.
And this is one of their former teammates. This is Alex Frame, now riding for Trek Segafredo. He gets the go-ahead down the ramp. It's smooth.
It's a big test bed for Alex now, because he's joined a World Tour team this year from JLT Condor. They're cheering him on as well because they like to see progress. And this is a man now heading possibly towards the Tour de France within 2 years.
Well, Ed Clancy has said he wishes his former teammate all the best with finishing in 2nd place behind him, if he can get there. But Frame doesn't want 2nd, he wants 1st.
Well, he's pushing them close. He's inside 2 minutes, I think, here at the moment at the first check. Let's see what he comes up home with.
Well, he's looked so composed up until this point, and now it is a maximum effort for Alex Frame, the Kiwi, chasing the Brits. It's the Olympic champion with the time to beat. It's 1:54 of Clancy, and it's not quite quick enough for Alex Frame, but he is desperately close. Again, less than a second off the pace, but it's not fast enough.
It is in to 4th place for him there.
4th place for Alex Frame, within a second of the yellow jersey. That is so tight. The last starter, the Australian road champion, this is Alex Edmondson.
There we go, final rider down the start ramp.
2 times a world team pursuit champion, so he's fast over short distances, but now he's a road rider, and it might find he hasn't quite got the speed. We'll see. He's the last man to go, and he's the only man that can take care of Ed Clancy now.
And when Clancy has been winning gold medals at the Olympics in the team's pursuit, it's this man who's been in 2nd place collecting the silver medal. Now is his chance for redemption. Through that corner smoothly. All that it is the flat, straight run through to the finish line for Edmondson. Desperate final few hundred metres. The time of Clancy, he's been sitting in the hot seat nervously. He was the 10th rider to start. He's been waiting all evening, and now it's just Edmondson to finish. And the final throw to the line, another ride that is close, but it's not close enough. He's 1.75 of a second off the pace, so Ed Clancy goes out the winner.
And Alexander Edmondson drops into only 6th place. There's the man who's won.
Brilliant performance by Ed Clancy, one of the elder statesmen of the race. Experience has delivered today.
Anything that happens now is a bonus. I'm not sure if they're giving time bonuses for the sprint tomorrow. If it's a bunch sprint and there's someone within 10 seconds that wins the stage and I'm nowhere in the top 3, and it's all over. But anything from here is a bonus. I'm over the moon, and if we can hang on to it for another day, that'd be ace. If not, it's been a great race already.
Norman Hansen, 2nd place.
So Clancy on the podium with Pedersen in 2nd position. Norman Hansen it is who's in 3rd place, and it was 0.71 of a second separating the top 3. This is Clancy's teammate Matthew Gibson. He's got the Visit Victoria white jersey.